All right. Shalom family. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is it going, everybody, wherever you're watching from? Thank you for taking out time to watch my videos. I really do appreciate when you watch my videos. You are supporting me, you are supporting the work that I do. And today I am back with my usual guest. I guess now the title of a guest we should throw that out of the window. My usual person. So today we are back on the road, and we are going back to Iganga. You know, Iganga is a special place to me. You already know why, huh? Brother Israel.
Oh, it's the home of your wife.
All right, you already know, people. So Iganga is a very special town to me, and I love it. So under our ministry, or what we are trying to do, we find ourselves needing to go back and forth from Jinja to Iganga. So even today, that's where we're going to handle some business. But on our way, we would like to use this time to talk about a few things, and among the few things is marriage. Now, I and a sister who we used to go to the same Christian church, one day we were discussing about marriage, you know, and I kind of brought up this discussion. I started this conversation about marriage intentionally because I wanted to trigger a conversation, and the rationale would be understanding the difference between marriage according to the Christian church or modern religion today and marriage biblically. And we had an argument, I should say, but we did not agree. It was nice hearing what her views are, but since we have Brother Israel today, I would like you to help me and help whoever is listening understand marriage according to the Bible, according to the teaching of the Bible. So the microphone is yours right now.
Well, the basic idea of marriage, as we return back to the covenant of Yah, back to the law, statutes, and covenant, the statutes, and the culture of our ancient forefathers, the Hebrews. The concept of marriage isn't very different than the concept of marriage in ancient Bantu culture. It's basically the same concept, because Bantus have the same culture, the same heritage.
Okay, so here is the thing. When I talk about modern day religion, okay, we see that for a union between man and woman to be recognized as a marriage, you have to go to church, okay, before a pastor, before a bishop, before a priest. They put a ring on your finger, you sign documents, you know what I'm saying? So this is what the sister was saying, because in my proposition I said, look, in the Bible we don't necessarily see a priest. Now correct me if I'm wrong, I am just giving my understanding of marriage according to the Bible. We don't see a priest, bishop, or pastor officiating a marriage.
That's correct.
Okay, and the sister was so much defending that type of marriage that no, there must be one, there must be a bishop, there must be a pastor. You must sign the marriage certificates. You know what I'm saying? And in my own understanding, religion being a political so they made marriage to be the same, where they must be the ones to control marriage or give a definition to marriage. So please, I need you to react to my sister's point of view and the biblical explanation of marriage.
Yeah, to say that you need the so-called church or priest or religious officials to establish a marriage is a colonial idea. That's a foreign idea that basically stems from the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages, where they in the Middle Ages they made marriage a sacrament of the church. But before that time, there's no such thing. And of course, according to that rationale.
Okay, excuse us guys, we had a technical glitch. Something happened and our recorder went off, but we are back, people. We are back. So we are still discussing the idea of marriage, okay, and trying to learn from our brother what biblical marriage is, and find the differences and perhaps the reasons why it was made that way, you know, Christian marriage. So brother, I don't know where we ended, but we'll just pick up from I guess you were trying to explain what marriage is according to the Bible. So please carry on.
So if we're taking what the sister was implicating, saying that marriage needs church building, it needs religious officials, right, and all these other things. And
she, to be fair to her, she also said witnesses. So three things: inside the church, priest, bishop, pastor, religious official, let us say, and witnesses. So carry on, please.
So then you're going to, that would mean to say that none of the people recorded in biblical texts were married according to that standard. So you're negating all the marriages of the righteous forefathers if you're going to say that.
So I could see what I could see her point of view is she's a strong Christian, I should say, because she has a role in church, you know, and I mean, I did not fault her for defending her religion, defending her faith and what she believed. But I guess all this comes down to our people being indoctrinated by this thing called Christianity and not allowing themselves to look at things and welcoming something different from what they know. Many of the people will dismiss any other teaching which they don't know, or anything that goes against Christianity. And I could see my sister did exactly the same thing, because I was telling her, look, biblically, we took I cited an example of the wedding in Canaan, which Jesus was a part of. There was no priest. You know, the Bible does not explicitly describe the marriage. You know what I'm saying? But on her part, that's what she knows, and I can't fault her for defending what she knows. But on the other hand, I really take issue with people like my sister defending and not using conventional knowledge to take one step back and say, okay, this is what I have grown up seeing. This is what Christianity teaches me. But let me hear from my brother, or let me hear from another person what they have to say, you know, and kind of look through that. But instead, regardless of what the brother or what they're hearing, they are very determined to defend no. All right. So also the other thing that is a big deal in Christianity is monogamy, or a marriage. Christianity does not support monogamy, or a man marrying more than one wife. All right. So why do you think that is? And I would also like you to talk to us the examples in the Bible. Do we see the same idea of monogamy in the Bible, or it's otherwise?
Well, first of all, we have to recognize that yes, maybe popular Christianity mandates monogamy, but not all Christians are monogamous. You know, we can cite examples all around the world. We can cite examples of Africans that are Christians but practice polygamy.
All right.
Also, not just in Africa, but even in the United States, you have Mormons who, you know, claim Christianity, and some of their sects, you know, practice polygamy. So while we'll, you know, of course, we would say the majority of Christian supplicants may preach monogamy, it's not all Christian sects. But basically, Christianity is the religious political arm of Rome. So when we look at Rome instituted monogamy as a law. And so the reason that ancient Rome established monogamy as a law was that the ancient Romans, not only ancient Romans, but even modern day Europeans, they were so homosexual that Roman men did not desire to be with women. And so the population of the Romans, of course, as you can predict, was declining because of their rampant homosexuality. So the politicians at the time saw this, of course, would be the demise of the Roman Empire. So the Romans established a law that every Roman man had to marry one woman so that they would have children and the population wouldn't be decimated. So that's where Rome established monogamy as a law.
Okay. So that's very clear to me, and it makes sense because Christianity, we all know that the Romans, founded Christianity. Okay. And then the idea of homosexuality and all of that, I do appreciate that knowledge. I didn't know it, and I guess maybe the viewers. So if you all agree with the idea that the brother is telling us, or if you have any objections, please let us know. Why do you think Christianity and its founders introduced the idea of monopoly, men marrying just one woman, and obviously later on teaching that to Africa. Because to be clear, before Christianity, I think it was our culture as black people to marry more than one woman. You know, it wasn't a law that, oh, you must marry more, but it was, you know, it was our culture, men to marry more than one wife, you know, several women. And I do strongly believe that that was the foundation of a strong Africa. And because we need children, we need to populate and support each other. You know what I'm saying? If a man marries more than one wife and they work together, you can see that that's a strong family. We see it with the Muslims, you know, they encourage it, and we see that most of Muslim families, they are able to achieve, they are able to build, you know, and raise stronger families as opposed to other families who are monogamous. So talk to me, does the Bible support polygamy? I need you to support that with some facts from the Bible. Yeah.
Well, you won't find the words monogamy or polygamy in the Bible. These are foreign, I guess, categories that are labels that were created, you know, as to define, you know, different styles of marriage. So in the Bible, marriage is marriage, whether you have a man had one wife or more than one wife. It was just marriage.
1 second. So polygamy and monogamy, to describe, as once used to describe these forms of marriages, they are labels.
Right.
And okay, they, as you say, they can't be seen anywhere in the Bible. I have never seen any of those two words anywhere in the Bible. So please carry on.
So in our faith, in our culture, if a man chose not to marry, that was the man's decision. But man chose to take a wife, that was his decision. If he chose to take more than one wife, that was his decision. And it was an agreement between the man and the woman. So it wasn't seen as something that was aberrant. So it's not much, you know, not much I can add to that. It wasn't seen as something unusual.
So other Christians say that yes, there are examples of, okay, we will continue using the, you know, the common words, i.e. polygamy, to mean a marriage where a man has more than one wife, okay, for purposes of educating ourselves and this video. But in the Bible, of course, we see examples of, yes, people, our recorder has been acting up. Our recorder has been acting up on and off, man. But we're back. Still going on with the conversation. Well, right now we are inside Iganga town, and we are on Aso Street. Don't make out any words. You know, Aso Street. So if you're watching and you know Aso Street, let us know what you know about this street. Yeah, what is it popular for, if it is popular at all? Anyway, yeah, Brother Israel, you were still dissecting marriage according to the Bible. Is that, I guess that's where we ended. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on. Explain to us what marriage was like in biblical terms.
Basically, it's a transfer of ownership. In Hebraic culture, a daughter is seen as belonging to her father. And when she comes of age, if there's a man who desires to take her as a wife, he would go to the father, approach the family, get permission from the father specifically, and then approach the woman. If all parties agree, then the transfer of guardianship or ownership would pass from the father to the new husband. And that's about it.
So you're going to be in trouble with the feminists. How dare you say transfer of ownership, man? How dare you? The feminists are going to come at you. They're going to...
Well, don't come at me. You can come after the Most High. See if you can win against the Most High.
Okay, so you talked about the father, transfer of ownership of the daughter from the father to the husband now. Yeah, I know that even the Bible says, you shall leave your father and mother and be united to your husband. You know, same thing to the wife. The same standard applies to the woman. Or should I say, the same standard applies to the husband as well as the wife, right? That's scripture according to the Bible. So where is the role of the mother in a marriage?
You mean the mother of the wife? Or?
Yeah, the mother of the okay, let us use the word bride. Yeah.
Her job was to raise her daughter according to the expectations of culture in the Torah.
And that's it.
That's basically the job.
What about in some instances where the daughter, now we say we use the word bride. What about in cases where the bride is ready, for example, ready to get married, i.e. age, in terms of age, but the father is not living anymore, the father is deceased? Who is now responsible to give out the bride to the husband?
In that case, it's usually the guardian, which is usually the closest male relative.
Okay.
Whether it's a brother or uncle or a grandfather.
And you know, do we see a setting where a man and woman meet and agree to get married, as it is today, and then the parents come in much later? Or even under some cultures, the parents are not at all.
So you're asking, do we see that in the Bible?
Do we see that in the Bible? And you know, what's your take on that?
Well, I think culturally, maybe a majority of the time in ancient times, the man and the bride didn't even know each other. It was the families that made arrangements. But you have cases such as Father Jacob and Rahel. Jacob saw Rachel first before he went to his his future father-in-law Laban, his uncle.
Okay. So we see that in the Bible. Are you adding on, because the question is, we see the same setting today, and my kind of to carry on or to add to the question is marriages where the fathers or relatives are not involved at all. Man and woman meet each other and decide to get married without involving the parents at all.
You don't really see that in the biblical text. And that's not really Hebraic custom, because marriage is seen as a covenant between two families. So the man is adding on to his father's family, right? So the bride is actually being adopted into the man's family, and the bride is leaving her family to be added to the man's family. So it's the witnesses. You asked about witnesses. You know, the lady had mentioned witnesses. You do find that in Hebraic culture. You don't really find secret marriages. You know, marriages were public, so you had witnesses.
Okay, so in terms of marriage according to Hebraic culture, and in this case, because I referenced biblical marriage, so is it the same as Hebraic culture or Hebraic marriage? Can we term it as that?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't see any priests presiding over a marriage, but rather the parents, and mainly the parents of the wife, you know, or the parents of the bride, mainly the father of the woman that is about to get, you know, given into a marriage. What about the parents of the groom now? What is their role in the marriage? And, you know, give us some receipts from the Bible,
well,
if any.
Again, it was many times you find that it's the parents that arrange the matchmaking. So you find that in the case with Father Abraham. He sent his servant Eliezer and gave him specific instructions to find a wife or find a bride for his son Isaac. So it was, you know, Abraham who, you know, basically gave instructions to his servant Eliezer to find a match for his son.
Okay. So I think African culture is very consistent with, I should say African culture before it was diluted by modernization, Europeanization, or Westernization, I should say. It was very similar to what was in the Bible, and I should say it's very consistent, you know, what used to happen, because we see that marriages where a man would take several or multiple wives, that is consistent with African culture. Also arranged marriages where two families, as you just referenced, you know, two families, the father of the daughter, you know, agreed with the father of a boy to have their two sons and daughters respectively go into a marriage. You know what I'm saying? I hope what I'm saying is clear and understandable. So that is also consistent with how it used to be here in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So we see that marriages are officiated, or they are presided over by parents. No priest, no pastor, no bishop, according to the Bible, not according to Christianity, guys. Don't put a rope around my neck. Yeah, what else do you have to say about marriage and what you see today?
Yeah, it's Western culture is different than Hebraic culture, so if you're going to follow what is popular in the Western world today, you're gonna find it's very different from what you find in the Bible.
Absolutely. Okay, so listen, the phone has been acting up the entire time. on and off, on and off. And I guess this is a hot topic because it's been giving me a notification. Oh, phone is very hot. You can't use the camera. But anyway, we're going to wind up in a second. The last clip ended when you was about to give us examples of bride price according to the Bible, and show that paying bride price by the groom to the bride's parents or bride's father is biblical. Take it from there, brother.
So basically the idea in the Torah is that the bride price is the price of virginity. So in the righteous way of going about it is, of course, the man goes to the lady's father. They discuss things. He discusses things with the woman. They come to an agreement. However, it also talks about that if a man seduces a virgin and takes her virginity, that the man must pay the price of her virginity to the father. And even if the father refuses to give the man his daughter as a wife, the man still has to pay the father for taking his daughter's virginity. So that's basic idea of bride price, according to the biblical idea, is that the man is paying the father for the virginity of the father's daughter.
Okay, so let's be clear on this. Only virgins are to be okay. Only when a woman is a virgin should the father receive bride price. I don't know, is my question clear?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
No, I just want to make sure that the people watching online understand the question. So if a woman is a virgin, then a man should pay bride price according to the Bible. If the woman is not a virgin, then no bride price should be paid.
Well, I'll say that the bride price for virginity is required according to the Torah. So it's a requirement of the Torah to pay for the virginity of the woman. So other than that, it's an agreement between the two families if she's not a virgin. So if whether the man agrees with the father to pay a certain price, that's between the two families. So if the man doesn't pay a price for the woman, that's between the two families. So I would say for a virgin, it's required. In other circumstances, it's a negotiation between the man and the father of the bride.
Okay, thank you so much for your wisdom and taking your time to share us what you know. So guys, let me know. I need to hear your reaction from what the brother has been teaching us today. All right, we have been discussing marriage from a biblical point of view, the understanding of marriage according to the Bible. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you leave your reaction, suggestion, objection, elimination, and let us know what you think. This is what the brother is teaching us, and I saw from the Bible. Let us know, leave a comment to let me know, and let us share knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And also, I continue to encourage you to please support me here on the channel. Please, please, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you're a returning subscriber, please consider becoming a member of the channel by clicking the join button. That way you're supporting me. Okay, listen man, am I not worthy your support? I think I am. Please support me. Check out my Patreon also, as well as my PayPal. Thank you, and we will see you in another video.